Hello and welcome to The Box Seat, Perth Racing's video previews of racing out of Ascot on 11th of November 2020, a Wednesday meeting with the rail at 12. There has been a lot of rain around. As at time of recording, the track is officially a heavy 8. So I think it's going to be around a heavy 8 or a soft 7 come Wednesday. A lot of rain around, but hopefully some fine conditions for the actual race day. We roll straight into race 1, Tab Touch, Betty Your Bet handicap over 1,200 metres for the 3-year-olds. We're going to go back 8 days ago to Melbourne Cup Day and watch the win of No Surrender.
Up, No Surrender, shot 2 clear of At War, I Hope You Dance, followed by Blazing Passion, then Vicinity. No Surrender at the 200 is the leader, but here comes At War. At War pegging ground, back off No Surrender. No Surrender finding though, digging in hard. At War's come to the end of his run, testing Lovers jumping out of the ground late, but No Surrender will lead all the way. No Surrender beat Testing Love.
Mitch Pateman took No Surrender straight to the front in that meeting. Never looked like getting beaten at any stage really in the home straight. He beat a couple of handy types, and most importantly, that was a soft 7. We know that these universal rulers absolutely thrive in the wet, so I can't see why he wouldn't almost repeat the dose here. Number 2 on top for me in the opener, and that's No Surrender. Number 3, Iron Sharp. Number 1 in Life for a Life. They both contested the same race at Northern, nothing between them at all. I'm going to side probably just slightly with Iron Sharp because I do think he's got some improvement in for second. Number 1, Life for a Life, clearly he's going to be hard to beat. And then down to number 8, Lasting Impact, this maiden filly of Neville Parnham's, who is slowly but surely improving. My numbers in race number 1, 2, 3, 1 and 8. Race number 2 at Ascot is the Western Race Picks maiden over 1,100 metres, and the horse we're going to watch in replay is the likely favourite, running second most recently, and that is Silent Act.
Straightened up and going to the lead here at the top of the home straight, taken on strength, led the way down the outside, quickly joining it is Beau Zoom though, and now also running on here is Silent Act on the outside. It's Beau Zoom, about a length and a half to Silent Act, the ex-Victorian responding well and really reaching for the line. Beau Zoom went home to win from a photo.
Well, Silent Act's had 2 runs in this campaign, run second on both occasions. It is a bit of a concern because this mare knows how to get herself into an awkward spot and then flash late to run a minor placing, but it does look to be her race for the taking this. She ran second to Brave Dream, who's won since. She ran second to Beau Zoom, who went around about $1.80 on Melbourne Cup Day. Has to be good maiden form for this. Draws a gate, Jason Whiting to ride. With a bit of sting out and putting her on top, number 4, Silent Act. Number 10, Star Subject, on debut from Brett Pope's yard. Clearly making a debut on a heavy 8 is an ask, but I do think this filly has a bit of ability. Number 5, Spirited Session, no match for Fishhook first up down at Northern, but it was a real lead and run type of day. Number 9, Next Best, and that's Miss Lavinia, who we haven't seen for a couple of months, since a reasonable enough effort on debut behind Madame Torio. My numbers in race 2, 4, 10, 5 and 9. Race number 3 at Ascot is the Morley Growers Market maiden over 1,200 metres. We're going to watch the recent trial down at Lark Hill of Regal City.
He moves up around the outside. Starting to come through again was One Last Wish. Top of the lane though, out in front, it is Regal City. Trying to come through, One Last Wish. Lone Hand Larry's flat to the boards. Winding up down the centre of the track is Skillful Hunter. Is trying to get into a place. Leader still going okay. Regal City, it needs the line, but it's out by 2. One Last Wish to second. Now Natural Moss coming through on the inside. It's a 3-way go for the mine.
Well, the Ash Maley Chris Parnham combination in really good form at the moment. We saw them score on York Cup Day, and that was with Push to Pass. I'm going to make my best bet later on one of their combinations. But with this one here, I thought he'd be hard to beat, but I actually found one here I thought that had really standout maiden form lines. And that's Olden here from Dan O'Connor's yard. Some of those runs behind Sassy Trader, behind Kiss on All Four Cheeks, behind Snickerdoodle Dandy, that has to be the best maiden form for a race like this. And if he's ready to go first up, no trial, I think he'll give this a shake. So it's 7 on top for me in Olden. From the replay watch there, that Regal City trial, it was very good, and I think that he'll take some beating here. Number 1, Talon, gets a claim for the inform apprentice Hannah Fitzgerald and the inside gate. And then down to number 6, Alien from Mars. Bob Turrell's got a mare that can win races, but it looks with the spacing between runs like she's got her fair share of issues as well. My numbers in race number 3, 7, 3, 1 and 6. Race number 4 at Ascot is the Amelia Park Handicap at 2,200 metres for the stayers. We're going to go back to Melbourne Cup Day, down at Bunbury, watching the maiden win of Miss Miranda.
Miranda's coming up 3 wide, and then came Our Damour, followed by Glenora, Get the Goods, and well back Black Melody. Favourite struck the front, Miss Miranda. Bruni Island times to come back, and Our Damour is coming down the outside, is closing in. Miss Miranda's in front. Our Damour's coming. Miss Miranda, today could be the day. It is. Our Damour can't get there, and then Bruni Island, Glenora, but in front Miss Miranda, and Miss Miranda by a length and a half.
Jason Brown put on an absolute clinic that day. That was the first of his 4 winners on the program. And I think here that Vaughan Sigley's mare gets a wonderful chance to actually win back-to-back races here. Lakdar Rumley takes off 3 kilos, draws a gate, hits form at the right time, and comes into what is a very lowly midweek Class 1 staying event. I'm going to tip her here to win 2 on the bounce after it took her 14 starts to actually win a race. So with little confidence, I'm going with number 5, Miss Miranda. Number 2, Top Trade, beat Miss Miranda a couple of starts ago, but has to concede a 3 kilo differential for only a length and a half sort of finish. I think here that Chris Parnham can take up the running if he wants to, or as he showed last start, can sit off them. He is now quite versatile. Number 7, Shawadi Wadi, finally gets out to a staying trip, and how could you knock anything from Danny Morton's yard at the minute? And number 9, Ravoose, who did a lot of work last start and has to be knocking on the door. My numbers in race 4, 5, 2, 7 and 9. Race number 5 at Ascot is the Iron Jack handicap at 1,000 metres. We're going to go back 2 starts ago for all-day session and watch him running second to the Boom Filly Clairvoyance.
Towards the tail end of the field is Demito. Into the straight though, and this newcomer Clairvoyance leads the way. Prixerie is up at the 250. She's now a length and a half clear of all day session. Looking to work out around the heels now of the leader. Now got rid of Born to Rule. Battling on Bumper Humper. Clairvoyance with 100 left to go all day session. Trying to run her down though. The big Nostradamus filly in front though. She was very wayward. She had a good look up the street.
Well, I think that replay says it all. If you can run second to Clairvoyance, you can definitely win a Class 1 midweeker. This horse has had a freshen up all day session. He has had a first up run behind some pretty nice types. I'm talking Charlton Eddy, I'm talking Shantalk. Comes from a 3-year-old race back into a Class 1. Chris Parnham on, blinkers on for the first time. He has to carry 61 kilos on a heavy 8. That is going to be the query. But with any luck, we'll get sort of 350 about this horse. And I think that's a bet in this grade. Number 1, almost the best bet as well, and that's all day session. From number 8 in Excerpt, who's another 3-year-old taking on the older horses. No luck last start, scratched last week. It looks a winnable race with an ounce of luck. Number 5, Like a Jaguar, who can go well fresh here. And number 6, Playing Red, who was completely luckless down at Northam in what's turned out to be a white hot form reference race. My numbers in race 5, 1, 8, 5 and 6. Race number 6 at Ascot is the Crown Perth handicap at 1,400 metres. The horses to watch in replay, Island Missile running second, and it's also Schoolhouse Rock running 4th.
Trouble, straightened up by 2 to Dacio. Down the outside running on his Island Missile now, and Revel's getting a run. Horizon threading its way through. Here's the grey Schoolhouse Rock chiming in as well. Many hopes. Schoolhouse Rock, Island Missile have got to food trouble. It's Schoolhouse Rock drawing a neck clear close to home. Schoolhouse Rock, although wanting to get in late, was too good.
Well, they were both good runs there for different reasons. Island Missile sitting close handy on a day where you probably did need to get to the extreme outside. Dad's Big Headed held up turning into the home corner, and that probably was the difference between running 4th and running 3rd or 2nd. I think here that Dad's Big Headed is the big beneficiary, stepping to 1,400. He'll stay off the fence, he'll get out wide, and by this stage of the day on a heavy 8, it might well be the place to be. So I'm going with Colin Webster's 3-year-old here, and Geordie Turner in the saddle. It's number 7 for me in Dad's Big Headed. Number 8, Power and Passion. Well, he beat Callaroo last start, and that horse came out on Saturday, won a Fair Ether Stakes. Don't get much better form than that from a Class 1 up into a Class 3. Number 6, Island Missile, super at both his runs since coming to WA. It'd be great to see this horse finally break a long run of outs, and I think he can do it here, but he does need some luck from the draw. I then went to number 10, and that's Powerful, who won a very slow maiden last start, but I did like the way that he accelerated late. My numbers in race 6, 7, 8, 6 and 10. Race number 7 at Ascot is the Mumm Champagne handicap over 1,400 metres, and this is the first up win of Smashing.
which had been parked very wide. Into the straight though, Famous Journey kicked about a length clear from Alfred Omega, who's sticking on really well, and likewise Smashing, who's running on strongly down the outside. From further back, Nobel Lawrence is running on. Alfred Omega hit the front. Smashing though won't lie down. Smashing levels up on the outside. They dive to the line. Smashing got the
3 deep the trip, no cover. A really good effort to still be able to fight on and win that race. The horse that ran second, Alpha and Omega, won a 3-year-old handicap on Saturday just gone, so that form is super. Gets in with 54.5 kilos, draws a gate, has enough gate speed to hold a position. I think Chris Parnham will have her right place, right time, and she looks pretty hard to beat in this race. Right down the bottom to the 3-year-old filly, it's 14 for me in Smashing. At the other end, right up the top, number 1 Miss Dominican comes back in trip, has race fitness on her side, the blinkers go on, and a really good use of Bo Edwards' 3-kilo claim. Number 5 My Fair Valentine. This horse hasn't fired a shot at Ascot. I think it's 12 starts for basically no placings, but I am convinced that Dan O'Connor's got her going well, and she's more than capable of going through the grades. Number 12 next best, and that's Kentucky Love. Great to see Paddy Birmingham bringing horses down from Kalgoorlie, and this mare's right back in form. My numbers in race number 7, 14, 1, 5 and 12. Race number 8 at Ascot is the People Start Handicap. People Start are the sponsors of this year's Kingston Town Classic as well. This race is over 1,200 metres, and we're going to watch the fresh effort last start of Masquerade.
on the outside, ranged up to Comes a Time. Gee, they've booted away this pair. In Love with Paris, letting down, got a half a length, now a length and a half. Comes away from Comes a Time with 150 left to go. Young Bobo into In Love with Paris, off its feet, down the outside, Sweet Dreamin' coming late, but In Love with Paris salutes first up, a year to the day since his last run.
Well, Masquerade might have only run sixth there, but was one of very few horses to make any ground whatsoever in the home straight, in a race that was dominated from right up on the pace. I think that's going to prove a strong form reference. It's a 66 back to a 60, draws a gate, proven weight carrier, almost won in this grade with 61 last prep. So from the gate, I think this is an each way bet for sure. It's number 2 for me in the last, and that's Masquerade. From 5 more aces, a lot of these horses I'm tipping haven't won for a long, long time. You do get that in this no metro win last year type of class, but more aces is clearly going well. Number 11, Indatio, who gets in with no weight at all. 52.5 kilos, gate number 1. If she gets a soft run and gets out late, she can ping. And number 12 next best, and that's Rosebush. Chris Parnham and this mare get along particularly well. My numbers in race 8, 2, 5, 11 and 12. Rolling straight into best bets for Wednesday the 11th of November. I'm going race 5, number 1 in all day session, the 3-year-old to beat the older horses. And race 8, number 2, Masquerade, hopefully on an each way basis. Masters coming up here at Perth Racing. Make sure you get your tickets at perthracing.com.au and follow us on all the socials.